All right, welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for our second map here between compLexity and Cloud9. We are jumping into the map now. This is Cloud9's map pick after they just took control over map number 1. Well, compLexity is certainly up against the wall here, and we're now going to have to see if they can face off against Cloud9 at all on their own map pick. Otherwise, Cloud9 are going to get to push forward into the finals in a quick 2-0 fashion. And they'll have to get prepared to go up against either Rise or CLG, depending on who is able to win that match. It's time to begin, though, guys, so let's jump right into it and see who's going to start off with the early advantage on the pistol round.
Nades on Ska and Rush.
So a little bit of an extra nade buy up there, too. Normally only going to see the one player buying up towards it, so they do have the second smoke coming into the picture. As Cloud9 are going to split up, almost like this was an early gun round from them. They hold back on the banana push, and now, or not banana, excuse me, the Ivy push. And now Swag is going to get that flashbang to assist him in pushing up to the actual door. He's looking for that first kill if he can get it, but he really doesn't want to fully peek into Ivy itself, as that's a very risky thing to do at this point in the round. Doesn't want to lose that early player, giving the guys from compLexity an early advantage. But he's going to have no choice in a second as Android's pushing out to fight him here. Second player, they are lining up partially, but the movement is too heavy, and they cannot, or Swag specifically, cannot lock down the kill. It's going to be Ye that takes Swag out of the picture. Now the rest of Cloud9 will start to push in, seeing if they can turn this around at all. Smokes are going to be blocking a lot of Cloud9's path, actually, as they start to push forward here. Peter, oh, Tarek's going to walk right into his face and get a quick start. And so far, he's got the only kill for Cloud9. That'll change now as Rush also finds one, but Cloud9 just can't get anything going here, unfortunately. Rush is left in a 1v3. He's only got 16 HP to play off of it with, so he's really stuck in a hard place to play off of here, although that's some nice shooting. Long range with the Glock. Still able to take down Android. Just under 40 seconds remaining here, too. Looking for another shot if he can get it. Still hasn't been hit yet since he got put into this 1v3. He's down at 16 HP, but finally Slummy takes him down, and that's going to be compLexity controlling the first pistol round.
Yeah, compLexity with the early aggression to catch off Swag, and then from there, they just hit their shots. I like that play by Def and Slemmy in the 2v1. They just played it slow together and peeked Rush in a 2v1 together.
Made sure that they were able to get quick and secure control over this first initial round, so that they can start off once again strong. This is the same way that Inferno went, with compLexity winning the initial pistol in the next couple of rounds. Cloud9 didn't really kick in until that first gun round. We'll see if they can make that any different this time, as they are going to be trying some interesting stuff on this second force by 2 scouts first off, and then they have the 3-man push working its way over towards Ivy, where in a moment we are going to see Slummy having to defend this if the guys from Cloud9 push forward. The Swag specifically trying to move in, but Slummy puts an end to that pretty quickly, and now goes to the pop flash inside so that he can peek it. See if there's any more players here. He should have been able to see at least one of those two. I'd be very surprised if he didn't see either of them. They weren't really moving, so it might have, right into the corner of his eye, might have caused him to miss it, but I think he did see it. Regardless, though, he's not going to get a chance to fight either of those two, as they're both going to fall back towards T-Con now, since the other two players from Cloud9 have also gone down further into the B site. Def along with Ye were able to pick up either of those kills. And now Cloud9 only with 2 remaining, not looking too bright here to be able to shine themselves into a first round upset. So they're going to have to see and do what damage they can with these 2 scouts, and hope that at the very least maybe they can pick up an extra kill or 2 here to just keep the money on compLexity a little bit lower and a little bit more under the control of Cloud9. They do push in. It's a quick stop for Android, as he does get tagged by the scout, but he still picks up the kill. That'll be the bomb going down as well. And for the last one alive schedule, he does not last very long either. compLexity fast and secure control of their second round. No deaths at all either, which is going to be great for the money buildup.
Yeah, Cloud9 went with the double scout, and they just couldn't find any early picks, and that was a clean round by compLexity with the 3-ump setup. I assume this is just going to be a clean round, and they're going to try to get the bomb plant.
Yeah, no buys at all from Cloud9 going into this round, with 4 to 5 players, now all 5 actually, going back upstairs into the White Halls, so they're all going to be pushing through there. Probably going to be a fast inner hit, just attempting to bull rush their way down, as you were saying, into the site, and then just get that plant quickly. Will more than likely be the plan for these guys, but looks like they may hold it up for a couple of moments here, just delay things slightly, so as to give compLexity the illusion maybe that they're trying to go for a more advanced execute. Problem is that compLexity was pretty impatient, as we can already see Ye has pushed his way over here inside of T-Con, so he knows for a fact that they have 0 presence in T-Con. Slummy's just free peeking Ivy, knows there's nothing there, so they might catch on to this. They've already moved a second player over here into the B-bomb site, able to assist Def if necessary, but he may not be sticking around. It's Peter, and he is kind of shifting with that scout currently. But for the time being, he will be sticking inside of Z, watching for upper pressure as Cloud9 are doing an interesting split. 2 players are going to burst out through ladder room while the other 3 potentially try to go upper. It worked, though, because now Def's going to call this, but Peter going out of position. They're still going to stop it pretty quickly, and I believe they won't get a plant, but it was an interesting attempt to try and at the very least get control over the site and get a bomb plant to give them some extra cash and to get into the first round of first gun round.
Yeah, and Cloud9 taking it slow. Although they had nothing, they took it really slow, waited on the clock, and that makes compLexity burn their nades, so they're going to all have to rebuy Molotovs, smokes, and flashes.
And so, now we'll see, with the 3 umps and the FAMAS still in check for compLexity, if they're going to be able to hold off against 5 AKs from Cloud9. Proved to be detrimental to them, but just expect more aggressive play as a result of those umps still being in the picture, and you could see just exactly that. Both Ye and Def going to be pushing back calls here. Tarek already forced to fight, trying to go up the ladder. However, Tarek's able to hear those players upstairs. He knows they're here, and he tries to leap into a fight against them. However, obviously jumping off the ladder is never going to be an easy fight to win, and Def will take him down. Swag claims revenge just a few moments later over here in the White Halls, though, as Ye gets a tad over-aggressive, continues to push for more control over the map, and tried to push out an additional member of Cloud9. Didn't work, though. Swag held on, and now it's an even 4v4 for control over this map. Slemmy might end up being the next player to fight out here. Either him or Peter. Good timing, perfect timing on the Molotov, actually. Oh no, look at these nades. Oh, Rush. There's nothing he can do there. He gets flashed out. He tried to fell back right before he got hit by the flash and ended up just running into a wall inside of the molly. So just got mind gamed there and completely outwitted. And oh, Stewie with a perfect spin around inside of the smoke there. Don't want to challenge him. As Slemmy looks like he has basically a free kill on Stu, but he 180s at the very last second there. Saves his own life and trades for that earlier death of his teammate there, making it an even 3v3. Now the rest of Cloud9 trying to push back in, mainly through the back lanes over here on the site. Swag finding Android, trying to push down from the ladder room, and Stewie taking down Peter right inside of Z. It leaves only Def alive to try and clutch this out in a 1v3 situation. The first kill, potentially against Skadoodle, will be the easy one to get. He's low. He's at 17 HP. There's a little bit better off here. Tries to spray down at range. We'll get Swag, but he didn't even catch Skadoodle on the bomb train. So he gets off with a quick trade, and Cloud9 will win out on the first gun round.
That was good aggression by compLexity early on. They had umps, so they had to do something. They caught Tarek off guard, got that pick. But I feel like Ye just needed to fall back, take that early 5v4 advantage. But that's considered like a bonus round. They had 3 umps, so they'll have to be able to buy this round.
Yeah, they still have the big full lie with, I mean, and they had full utility last round, and they're going to keep that again here, too. It's not like they had to sacrifice utility. So they kept that extra excess cash, and are still going to be pretty well off in this round. And Cloud9 should know that, too, as this is the way the rounds often sequence themselves. So compLexity, they're going to be getting ready for the pushes from Cloud9. Specifically, they do have a 2-man setup over towards Ivy now. With Slummy up on top of the boost boxes, and Ye actually outside of this one. Previously, he was supporting Def over inside of the B-bomb site, but they've gone back to having him as the solo player here. Other than that, though, everything remaining pretty quiet across the map. With Stewie and Rush being the first 2 from Cloud9, trying to move in and actually take map control away. The big question is, are they going to spot Slemmy sitting up on top of the boxes here with the 2 from Cloud9 trying to push it against him? They don't even check it, so Slemmy gets away with 1 for free. Stewie, fast on the trade, though, brings it down to a 4v4. And now the fun begins. Stewie jumps over his own smoke, though, and gives away the fact that he's pushing into it. So Ye's going to be able to get a kill there. Android re-peeking picks up 1, as does Peter from E-Box. And just now Tarek left alone with a 1v4. Had a massive round in the last game. Or had a massive map, I should say, in the last map. Is now going to have to try and pull off the impossible once again. He lurks around, finds Peter, not paying attention to that ladder room push, and that's ultimately where he is going to fall, as Android gets the free trade, and compLexity will close out, taking back control and resetting the losing bonus for Cloud9.
Yeah, I like that boost by compLexity because Peter's top red opping the mid. They know that they can't afford an op most likely, so he was watching the mid. There's probably no chance that they'll peek down the lane and see him boosted. He gets that early pick. Stewie trades it and just didn't expect the guy top green. But it seems like Cloud9 just plays really loose like the old Optic. They're just trying to work picks and make it work.
Well, this one they're going to have to make it work with a pretty minimalistic buy. Half buy with decent utility, basically, since most players are just going to be on upgraded pistols. Peter, now that he knows this, he's going to get aggressive again, pushing into those back upper halls and is able to take down Stewie, quickly falling back further into the site, though. And he still has Def further down on the bottom of the ramp to support it as well if he needs that, obviously. But I believe Cloud9 are going to have to hold back, wait down the timer a little bit, at the very least wait down the smoke that's on a ramp before they're able to really make any sort of push. And besides that, there's no panic on compLexity, no additional rotates despite how many players Peter was able to spot in that push. And now as the smoke moves out, Peter's going to respond with his own to try and hold back the upper play if at all possible. Ramp players swinging out. They are going to get quick sight control. They're for sure going to have the plan easily. But now Peter, he's going to be able to have himself a nice little shooting gallery here. Him and Def, actually, as they both pick up those initial kills as they move in. But Rush and Skadoodle able to trade out some frags of their own. Unfortunately, it's not going to be much in the grand scheme of things, as Ye shuts down both of the remaining players for the T side, giving compLexity their 5th.
Yeah, at the very least, they got the plant. I think Cloud9 was trying to go for more. I think they could believe that they could actually win the round, but at least they get the plant, wait for the next bonus, and buy the next round.
Cloud9 not actually looking likely that they're going to be able to go for the full buy here, as they are going to be down with just upgraded pistols for this round for most of their players. A few more could actually buy into deagles and stuff like that. Yeah, we finally do see that. Skadoodle going for the deagles. He's looking to save for the ops. So he doesn't buy anything more than that, as you'd normally see the guys buy down to 2K or so. But not going to be the case this time. It's very, very light from Cloud9. And so their strat needs to be even lighter. Just a fast push potentially going into the A site originally is what I would thought was going to happen. They even sent 3 players down ladder room. But
yeah, I think they were trying to catch Android in the ladder.
Yeah.
But he didn't go in ladder this time.
They're not even going to... I don't even think he had enough time to get into ladder with how quickly they tried to push onto that one.
Yeah.
So they go back up the ladder pretty quickly. And it looks like they're probably just going to stack back calls again and try to push in towards B. And I believe Def is going to be the one sitting here to defend it. Has Peter already rotated over to assist too. So they have that same setup. Def continues to change his position too, so it makes it very hard for Cloud9 to actually spot him and overwhelm him. Peter obviously plays to the same spot, but that's not really a spot where they can punish him too heavily unless they have an op themselves. So he's still pretty safe sitting in Z and playing to that position almost every single round. Out they go, but Peter gets wrecked there, unfortunately, as he pushes out. Skadoodle is going to be able to just one-dig him at range. Swag also found Def, so that's dangerous here now, as Cloud9 can get away with the round off of just about $1,000 investment for the entire team. Andrew trying to spray at range. He's got to turn around as Tarek's pushing up from behind them. They manage that. They take him down, leaving it into a 2v3. Still favored for the T's in this situation, but they don't have any gun upgrades, unfortunately. So in the actual fights, it's still very much favored for compLexity, as they've taken down 2 out of the 3 remaining players. Now it's alive is Stewie, but look what he just found. He's got the op in check now, and he's got this massive flank against these players. There's the first one, shooting into it. This is the first shot. He's got one more, but it's too far to the left. Can't find it, so his opponent sneaks out the defuse from inside of the smoke, and compLexity will still win it out.
Yeah, that was costly for compLexity. I don't know how they even got those kills. Like, they had next to nothing, and we've seen that a lot recently. Like, nothing, like, bought into the round, and they just get the bomb plant and almost win the round, so.
And so, with Cloud9 reinvesting and having a free op to boot, they're going to be in pretty good shape going into this next gun round here, but still behind by 5 rounds compLexity, taking a much more dominant stance on Train than they did on Inferno, unfortunately, as soon as we got past the first gun round, Cloud9 took immediate control and really started dominating the match. It's not the case here anymore. It's all compLexity at the start here with Cloud9 sneaking out the first gun round, and that's pretty much it. We'll see if that'll change here now, as they are able to get another investment rolling. But
compLexity's up 6-1 and look at their money after this round if they lose this.
Oh, wow. That's... I mean, they have less than Cloud9 considering the situation.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty bad. And not only this too, but utility's being used quite proficiently early on, so they're almost out of utility once again here. 2 smokes left over, sitting on Android and Slemmy, and then Peter down with a molly. That's really all they have in terms of big nades. I mean, Android has one more HE grenade, but Android more than likely is going to use that smoke and then either get the kills that he needs or die. I don't see him really using that HE grenade. And now the problem is Slemmy was caught pushing back out through Ivy, so Rush gets the kill there. That's the initiation rights Cloud9 need, and they can start their push into the site. And it's really only one man tending to each of these very crucial positions on the site too. Yeah, he's going to push in, gets aggressive, but somehow it works out for him. Gets the double kill before he's traded. And now downstairs inside of ladder room, well, they don't find anything there on the compLexity side of things. It's all Cloud9. Stewie and Skadoodle picking up kills. Def trying to rotate in is now the last man alive, but he gets nothing done, and Cloud9 will pick it up.
Yeah, they're having an exchange at Ivy there. Rush was getting pop flashed for Ivy, and then Slemmy was getting pop flashed back and forth, and Slemmy just took the battle to Rush, and Rush wins that battle.
Well, after that round, you had mentioned how the economy was in a kind of struggled position. So now compLexity is going to find themselves in a pretty minimalistic buy going into this round. They're only going to have those upgraded pistols. That's it. Besides that, it's all Cloud9 controlling the situation here, as they're going to have double ops on T side, the 3 AKs, and everything they would need to easily close in on this round. For compLexity, they don't have much. They have the 1 HE grenade sitting on Slemmy. That's it. And they've already started losing some of their players here as Tarek drops down. Takes some heavy damage to get that kill, but he does indeed pick up the first initial frag, taking down Android. Other than that, though, things remain pretty quiet across the map, with Cloud9 just holding it back, playing it slowly, probably expecting compLexity to make some more aggressive moves here. So just trying to kind of wait that out. And obviously once the time gets low enough, as soon as they figure out that they're against a full eco, then they're going to be able to play into this one pretty easily and take pretty massive amounts of control on that map. I don't imagine really any problems at all. We don't even have any deagles or anything, so in terms of long-range battles, unless these guys are really good with CZs, well, we saw one kill from Ye right there, but like I said, unless these guys are really proficient with these pistols now, more than likely Cloud9 should be able to just walk over the remaining players. They are set up on the A site to try and counter some of this, but Nades is completely firebombing out the bomb train, knocking them out of cover, and there's going to be Def as the next one to fall. Peter, the last man standing, he does dink rush, but it's nowhere close to killing him. Cloud9 pick up a third round, just 3 away from the tie now, and even this round might not be enough for compLexity to buy into it.
Yeah, it looks like just Deagles. Also, Cloud9 did have the double op. Yeah, Stewie has the second op now. Tarek had it last round.
So only 2 of those players buying up armor behind pistols too. It's Ye and Def that will give themselves, and Slemmy too, as he late bought there. Slemmy will also give himself the extra fire, the extra ability to fight with the armor. Mainly just taking close-up duels is probably what I imagine he's going to look to do, and you can already see that as he's pushing back halls. Def in a similar position outside of ladder room, doesn't want to directly challenge inside of the ladder, went in and actually was able to get a little bit of damage on the swag there, just hit him in the leg a couple times, so brought him down to 78 HP. And this is going to work in the favor of compLexity, as it is going to funnel them directly into compLexity's players. Problem is, though, is that with one guy going down, the whole stack just falls apart. Great response shot from Android, though, taking down Tarek. He took 0 damage from the fight, too. Molly's on top, so he does have to stay below, but Peter, in the meantime, pushing out through Ivy, was able to get 1 kill before he goes down to Skadoodle. And now, on the site, as they both tried to drop down into ladder room, Def was able to kill both of them. So potentially on just, I mean, with only 2 players buying into armor here, compLexity's been able to set this up to be a 3v1, and they've already legged Skadoodle. They brought him down to 19 HP. So he's going to have to somehow find a way to clutch this 1v3. The Molly comes in. He's trapped in the arena now, fighting close up with Def. Def misses a point-blank shot with the op, but then Android trades it out when he does try to swing upstairs there. So it is the round for compLexity, and they pull it off with a very minimal buy. So Cloud9 definitely not going to be happy about the loss there.
Yeah, Tarek got that early pick at Inner, and then I think he kind of overextended in my opinion. But at the same time, Rush got overwhelmed at Ivy and just fell apart from there.
Well, the early shots again ring out, and Peter is able to take down Tarek, knocking him out of the fight. 4 remain for Cloud9 already, as they've already lost one of their own players early on here due to Tarek once again pushing out too heavily. The rest are going to try to quickly flood control over the A-bomb site, but Android manages that with class. 2 quick kills from Heaven, and 1 additional pickup elsewhere in the site, leaving it all on Rush to clutch. He will trade to that player on Heaven, but that's it. Slemmy immediately picks him off. Great trades overall from compLexity, and with that now, 8-3, as they once again take back control over this map.
Yeah, it looked like Cloud9 with a change of pace, but it wasn't the answer, and I think they're going to save here. Yeah, a couple Tech 9s. No utility, though.
And they're all pretty much stuck together on Whitehall's too. So whoever's going up and down the ladder there, I think it's Swag. Trying to get someone to come inside of the room, but I don't think it's going to work too well. They made that mistake a couple rounds back. I don't think they're going to be making it again. Just walking into a big stack of like 2 to 3 players there. But Cloud9, besides that, are pretty much just splitting up across the map. Over here, Stewie actually is able to sneak off one, and now Def's going to be pushing in, looking for some pickups on his own. Gets the double kill. And that'll handle the entire Ivy push. A lot of attention got drawn to that, though, so the ladder players, along with this this one T-Con player, is able to push out for free. Rush tries to get some work done, just doesn't happen. And again, compLexity shut down another eco round from Cloud9 without too much trouble.
Yeah, we're going to see a full buy here from Cloud9. How many rounds do you think they need to get on the T side to close this out on the CT?
Probably like 5, and they should be alright.
5, yeah. Get 5, get the pistol, and just grind it back.
Well, again, with Cloud9 having another buy for themselves, the utility's a bit uneven, but they definitely have enough to make this round work, as their players will be spreading out. Again, playing into what will probably look like some more of a default here in a second. Peter, an unfortunate turn of events from him. I think originally that molly was not on him, but then it spread at the last second, and it pushed into him, kind of pushing him out of coverage and into the open where he was able to be taken down by Stewie. So they're going to lose their op very early on in the round. Not the best telling sign for compLexity. Def even tries to get aggressive too, but I think Stewie saw his shoulder when he went up on top of the ladder there, so took him down. Android now tries to push the ladder, denied again by an op on an aggressive peek. And without Cloud9 really even having to do much, compLexity just tried to play that round so aggressively, and unfortunately every single fight they attempted to take was lost. So Cloud9 walk into a victory on that round and go 9-4 now.
Yeah, I think that was one of those rounds where it's like you're making the mistakes, not so much Cloud9 making the right plays, and Peter's getting aggressive upper halls and got caught off guard by Stewie.
Well, 9-4 going into the last 2 rounds of the half. And Peter again changing up his position now. It's just going to be Android playing with Def on the inner site instead of having Clear play it with him. That's because they've chosen to go aggressively into the box halls on this round. And they could actually have quite a successful run if they're able to weigh this properly. They've already picked up Tarek. He got caught as the first victim. And they're not going to be sticking around for anything else. They do fall back after they find that early kill on a Tarek. Didn't take a lot of damage. Android losing about 1/3 of his HP, but that was pretty much it. And now Android wrapping around here, looking for Stewie in the corner. He's got a great angle against him, too, as Stewie's peeking into the mid lane. So Android gets out another one there. And it's Cloud9 that are kind of falling to pieces this time. Not a whole lot to offer in return. You can see Swag desperately trying to spray back at Def at long range there. Didn't really have great intel, but to where he was positioned. But tried to make something work, just didn't happen. And now the last ray of hope from Cloud9 is going to come from both Rush and Skadoodle, trying to push in through Ivy, where they actually have pretty clean access to this lane right now. Slemmy's around the corner, but he's really not too keen on actually peeking into this. It's more so Ye that's going to be here to set up for defense. We'll have to see in a moment if he's going to be able to proficiently hold this. I mean, the other problem is Swag really can't push out until the actual push starts too. But there, now we're going to see these guys moving out into the open. 2 for 1 to start for Cloud9, which brings it overall down to a 3v2. Rush is stuck in the alleyway. He needs Swag to take some of this distraction away from him so that he can easily peek back out. Peter misses that op shot. He's going to toss a nade over in the back. He just assumes they're stacked here. The nade goes in. Swag's going to plant it. Oh my god, that second kill from Swag. He does get traded by Slemmy. But if he had another second or two to brace himself, he might have been able to clutch that one out.
Yeah, that was dirty by Swag. That was a good try by C9, though. They're in a 3v5 and still managed to bring it to a 1v1, so good attempt by them.
At the very least, doing some decent damage. It's going into the last round, though. So as long as compLexity have enough cash, they actually might struggle a little bit on the buy here. Again, their money's still pretty low, specifically Slemmy. He's got 4150, so he's going to be able to get the buy, but he's going to be missing a couple nades here and there. But still, a good buy, and ultimately, the close round from Cloud9 won't mean too much at the end of the day.
Yeah, let's see if I can get that 5.
And starting off the round, let's take a look here now and see if Cloud9 are going to be able to piece together that 5th round that we were talking about before. They really kind of need now to get themselves back into this match, as they're still pretty far behind against compLexity. compLexity's took a dominant stance, and that's mainly off of both Android, Def, and Ye having some pretty good plays. Peter and Slemmy have actually been struggling pretty heavily in this map, unfortunately. Peter whiffing quite a few shots and finding himself in a couple bad positions where he just gets taken out without even a chance to respond to it. So with him and Slemmy, only have 6 kills right now. But we're going to see a little bit of a different style this time from compLexity, specifically at Ye pushing up very aggressively. He doesn't have any support, though, so this is kind of dangerous for compLexity, in my opinion, because this isn't really set up well to trade him if he does go down. This is taking a risk. Before, this has been one of the highlights of compLexity, specifically on this outer bomb site, is that they have been set up really well to trade each other in the event they go down. That's a large part of why they controlled most of the gun rounds here. But Swag, or Ye alone, is going to get taken down by Swag. He dinks Swag. However, like I said, no position for a trade at all. So Rush will take down not only Android, but Ye too. And with that said, it's going to push pretty much everyone from compLexity out of the site. Def is going to try to sneak back in through Z, but he's not being given a lot of room to maneuver. And Peter's suffering from a very similar fate. Back over here at the Ivy lane, looking for something to push into against these members of Cloud9, but they're set up so well. Still all 5 of the T's alive, too. There's been 0 trades from compLexity so far here. And as Peter pushes in, he'll go down to Rush, and Skadoodle picks up that last kill into Def, securing the 5th round for Cloud9 at the end of the half.
Yeah, that was a well-placed execute, and they just used their firepower to win that round. just go out and aim them. I feel like that's something they should be doing more of.
Not only that too, but the unsuperior stack, or the not so great positions that we saw from compLexity there too were kind of
weren't really tradable.
Yeah,
it was up by close mid. Android was E-box.
Yeah, Android pushing up really kind of sealed the deal there too, because I think he was desperate to trade that kill back onto Ye, but just didn't work out. He'd been doing good up to that point, so he was kind of justified to take that risk, considering he had been one of the more all-star players from compLexity so far, but still at that point in the game with what was on the line, he did kind of throw it away. But, like I said before, still having a 5-round lead at the end of the first half coming off CT side. It's exactly the scoreline they want to have, and as long as they don't drop the pistol here, then they're still in really good shape to take this second map and take it over to a third map.
Yeah, I like some of compLexity's setups too. Like, it's like they've actually put in the work and came up with some new setups with their new roster. So
yeah, definitely seeming like compLexity is showing up pretty strong here so far. It's going to be interesting to see in future events how they're going to be able to adapt this roster, especially with Pro League starting as well next week. It's going to be interesting to see if they can actually kind of push themselves up, because unfortunately for compLexity, obviously, like, everybody knows the struggles that this roster's had over the past almost like 2 years now, and trying to form a good roster. They've always managed to keep their Pro League slot, but they've always like hung at the very bottom of the rankings, like right out of elimination range. I think they actually, I'm trying to remember if they had to play relegation in any of the previous seasons. I think they managed to dodge it in both of the last seasons, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, I think they did. I feel like this roster will put them a little higher in the rankings. I don't know if it'll be much higher, but
it might put them more towards like the kind of middle of the road teams like we saw last season. Like you can see like Energy and some of those other teams up in that spot too.
All fighting for that land spot.
Yeah, that number 6 and 5 spots that often get contested quite a bit. And then there's Renegade just constantly getting wrecked, of course, with the with the major qualifiers every season.
Oh yeah.
But Peter pushing in here now is going to be able to take down Skadoodle. Quickly, compLexity are able to take control. They didn't account for Stewie though. They left him alive over here on the sidewalk, letting him get at least 1 kill before he goes down. It's short-lived though. Same for Rush, 1 and done for him. And now just 2 left alive for Cloud9. One of them's Tarek though, so don't count them out just yet. As he picks up that 1 kill, it gets even back down into another 2v2. And Swag will push forward, looking for Android. Can't get him out just yet, and Swag getting dinked, but the repeat gets him another headshot, and he tags Slemmy down. Very low, just a 14 HP, as he pushes back into the box halls. No molly for him. He has to go out and try to kill this diffuser. But Tarek only topped on it at first. He saw his opponent up on top, gets that first kill, can't kill Tarek in time, and with Carrick having that kit, he should be able to defuse this bomb and give Cloud9 the pistol.
That pistol, or Peter with that early 3K was nice by him. I think he overextended at the end there in the 2v2, but he was kind of caught off in a bad position, and Tarek and Swag just close it out. It almost seemed like Tarek didn't trust Swag there. Yeah. It's like he tapped it and then got off of it.
Well, compLexity actually not buying really anything at all in the second round here. They go for the 3 Deagle and P250 buys, but there's no armor behind it or anything, so they do try to save quite a bit of cash here since they got the plant. So they are going to be looking for that that 3rd round purchase. I'd like to see a smoke or something in here so they can at the very least try to overwhelm that A bomb site, or even the B bomb site too, and try to get a second plant for themselves, but it's looking like they're going to try to do a little bit of damage here. Ladder room, of course, always the tricky devil to play against here on the T side. Rush already also finding one of the 2 players trying to push out from T-Con and line up beautifully to take that headshot on the 2nd player. 3rd guy may push in there too, so he's going to want to stick around. But over here on ladder, Tarek, no problems at all, as it looks like they're going to be putting him in the position over here towards ladder room itself, and right there, holding it quite easily. Slemmy now the last man standing, but he would have to pretty much do 500 damage here to win the round. A nade already chunking him down to 16 HP. And Stewie will finish off the job. Cloud9 coming back now, 7-10, and more than likely going to end up 8-10 with this. Actually, no, excuse me. We're going to see the full buy coming out from compLexity, so this will be the first gun round here.
Yeah, they got that early plant, so they save the next round and they can buy this round. But they're going to be limited for nades for some of them. But Def goes for the to get the utility. Slemmy goes with the Galil, so the utility is actually not that bad. No,
yeah, they make it up with as you said, just those 2 downgrades on Slemmy and Def is enough for them. So now they have the 3 smokes, which should be plenty for an inner hit, but they are spreading players out, and Peter wasting no time, just dive bombing right inside of the ladder room there, getting early control. Tarek is not going to try to even contest it this time. He's playing just forward towards E-Box, working with Rush to restrict T-Con control there. along with ladder room too. He does have to be a little bit careful of ladder room, but I'm sure he's going to be checking this in a moment once the smoke starts to fade away, and that'll become his main focus once again. There we go. There's the spray, picking up one. Tagged quite heavily, threw it down to 1 HP. He's able to get a little bit more damage, but Ye and Peter both pick up kills. Swag from further back on the bomb trade picks up the frag onto Peter, and now Ye low at 24 HP. He's going to be restricted for the rest of this fight. Skadoodle waiting for the push to come back outside, but he missed his chance for a kill on Def and tries to long-range spray with the MP7, but just not going to happen in that situation. Def takes him down shortly now under full control of the T's, but look at how much damage has been done, and there's the quick lineup to give Swag the double kill at the end of the round and secure it for Cloud9.
Yeah, and that was just a bonus round for Cloud9. They had the MP7 on Skadoodle, a couple umps, so they got really close. I feel like if Ska had an M4 there, he probably would have got a clean kill on Ivy, and it would have been a much cleaner round.
But even with the win from Cloud9, compLexity still going to have a little bit of firepower coming into this round. Unfortunately, it's going to be pretty minimal. Just those upgraded pistols again, with a little bit of extra utility, of course. P250s, 1 Deagle on Ye, and then a Tech 9 for Def. As the rest of the team, well, they actually cheat Skadoodle over here early on, bringing the extra M4 into the fray over on the B bomb site, so just an even 3-2 split. And it's a good thing they made this call too, as it's a 4-man stack from compLexity right in the box halls right now, with Slummy way back over by the dumpster.
Yeah, I think he's gonna smoke Z. Yeah, I think he's gonna smoke deep Z, and they're gonna fly down lower. Pop flash.
So now compLexity getting ready to go in as the time is faded away from them quickly, and as they start for the push here, Skadoodle is first up to bat to try and stop it. He'll pick up the 1 kill. Tarek with another. Tarek with the second one too. Skadoodle, I don't even think they realized where he was positioned at either, as he wasn't even being looked at from down below there by the spindles. And Cloud9 make pretty quick work of that push, only losing Stewie along the way. And this is helping them early on, of course, with their economy build-up. We saw how dominant they were on that last map, just with their usual economy, so letting them get to this point again early on is definitely going to be dangerous, something that compLexity will need to stop.
Yeah, this is like probably the first gun round for compLexity, like a full buy. Peter actually has an op, so let's see what they can do.
And Peter specifically is going to take that up over here towards Ivy's edge. Swag will be the one contesting it. He's got plenty of nades to hold it at bay, though. He just has to be careful with the timing, as he hasn't deployed the smoke just yet. You can see he's looking for it. So waiting for players to actually push up before he goes for it. And there we go. As soon as he sees nades, deploys the smoke on his own regard there. Looks to hold back both Peter and Android for as long as he can. compLexity won't mind this. They've been okay with running the timer a little bit more and just slow playing on these rounds. So we are going to see these guys stacked up across the map. Ye specifically hiding in T-Con, 2 up on top of ladder room. They've got the bomb inside of... Where is the bomb? Bomb's box halls, or white halls, I think, right now.
C9's also holding their nades. That's one thing to keep in mind here.
Yeah, still 4 smokes, with the exception of Swags being used over on Ivy. And 4 Molotovs to toss out too, but in a moment here, Android, he has snuck up, and he is going to be ready to push in. He's dealing with a double peek, though, so he's got to be careful, and it just caught looking at nothing when Swag pushes him. So does Rush, too. Peter caught in the corner. Rush is going to get a free kill onto him, and there you go. The entire Ivy push is already dead. So compLexity may actually have to readjust here. As their initial strat, it's dead. Without this Ivy pressure, I don't really see them having the ability to make it inside. So they're going to put the guy inside of T-Con over here on the ramp, since Slemmy was able to push in, get that kill on Stewie. They get inner control, so at least they've made up for that. They should be able to get a plan at the very least. But nades are working their way back. However, that has to leave players in the open in order to toss those nades back out. So Slemmy steals another one out of the hands of Cloud9. That's going to be Rush going down here. And Swag looking for a response. He can't get it. Tarek and Ye trade blows. And Skadoodle picks up 1 more kill too. It's left to just Slemmy now, but he overpeaks against Swag. And that's what's going to secure it for Cloud9 and allow them to tie this matchup at 10-all.
Yeah, since C9 held onto their nades there, what it made was compLexity super uncomfortable, because they were going to come down ladder, I think, and they're going to split ladder and Ivy. But the moment that there was pressure Ivy, Tarek smoked off the ladder. It made it awkward for the inner guys, and they just decided to go inner.
And so that will leave compLexity with at least enough cash off of the plant to buy for this next round here, but it is leaving them with nothing in excess. They are on full losing bonus now, so they can still scrap together half buys for pretty much the remainder of the half if they really want to drag this on that long, but obviously needing to find some response rounds soon here. For now, just 5 AKs, usual utility stack up, and pretty usual split of players too. Again, another basically like T default here being lined up. Actually, hold on. It's a bit heavy towards Ivy. So usually this would be a 2-1-2, but they've got 3 going to Ivy right now. I'm not sure if one's going to split back off and go to T-Connor yet, but we'll find that out a little bit later. Swag, if you threw that nade about 3 seconds later, that thing would have done massive damage. Missed the mark on it, though. But already Slemmy down at 29 HP, and the kill of death there, along with a flashbang, helped him out to spot through the smoke a bit. Tarek, Rush getting kills. Rush getting an additional pick up there as he gets a nice little 3K on the round. Solo defends the entire Ivy push, and compLexity, despite the full buy, get absolutely nothing done. So they're going to call for a pause here.
Yeah, I like the nade usage by compLexity. That time they actually smoked 5 train and E-box, so it made Cloud9 a little uncomfortable. They used their nades way earlier compared to the other round, but it just wasn't enough, and I think they're probably going to go for a half buy here.
Yeah, with the 3,500 on pretty much every single player, it should be enough to do like Tech9 or CZ and armor or something like that at the very least.
And they had the max loss bonus, so they'll be getting 3,400 on top of, if they lose this next round, on top of whatever they have, so.
They just need to find a strat that works, though, as unfortunately, even with 10 rounds on their CT side, they haven't picked up a single one yet here on the T side. It's been 6 straight from Cloud9, only 2 plants as well on the pistol round, and 2 rounds back when they had their full gun round. So they're looking pretty dire right now. compLexity, just nothing working for them. They've only really tried to play to these defaults too. They've made a couple adapted plays to try and swing over towards like B and stuff like that, but that was only after like A plays got completely crushed.
Yeah, they had little success at inner. I think what they should do is maybe go fast Brown Hulk, make them think that they're going there. Stu will probably burn a Molotov, and just wait out the nades and do a late hit. I'd probably say that's their best bet to get the bomb down and potentially win the round.
The timer on the pause should be expiring in just a second here, so we should be jumping back into the action. And in a second, you should start to see those buys come in. Def going for the Deagle. A couple of their purchases. Seems like Deagles for the most part across the board here. They're just waiting.
If they're going to Deagles, I might just go for a slow pick strat then. But I do see 2 smokes and a Molotov.
I mean, they've been fans of just slow playing this map in general so far.
Yeah.
The last map too, I mean, that's basically what they did for most of their T-half on Inferno, is they just kind of slow played things. And they rushed on eco rounds.
And the nerf of the Tech9, it's not as good as it used to be. You gotta like tap it, you can't just spray that thing.
Well, early on, it is looking like still more of a default split that you'd see on the T side here, with 2 going towards ladder/box halls, and then 3 hanging out on the Ivy approach and inside, and right on the outside of T-Con. Def is actually going to be really careful with peeking this whole lane. As yep, Swag's waiting for that one, but he misses the shot and gets quite a bit of damage returned onto him. You can see he loses just under half of his HP. So he'll just fall back further into the site, though. It's not too big of a deal. He still spots those 2 players. No, they're set up into some kind of a default now if he was able to see both of them, which I think he was. And so
looks like they're lining up outer smokes. Or Peter was lining it up, so maybe a wall smoke outer, try to get the bomb down.
Probably going to be the priority for them, but Cloud9 are set up aggressively, so it's not going to be the easiest task. They might actually still get stopped, and won't be a lot to do then as long as Tarek and the others still stick out past those smokes. So in they come, and Molly right up on top of the ladder room, so it's already going to split the party up. Tarek smoking out towards E-Box too, so that he can stay safe and have a little bit more room to maneuver if things get dodgy for him. The push out, but oh, looks the wrong way, trying to dodge a flashbang. So he's actually going to go down to Def. Rush trades under that 1 kill, but with Tarek gone, that's actually the ticket they need to go up to the site and at the very least get a plant here. Set up an even 4v4. Android taking more damage from Rush over here in the side lane, but Swag killing one that tried to push a little bit too aggressively towards Z. They can't push over towards Heaven or anything like that because that's where Swag is positioned. Same to peeking an Ivy, and obviously you have this flank coming in from Stewie, which is going to come to full fruition in a few moments here. Trying to fight it up close. Slemmy specifically is right next to Rush over here. But in a second, we're going to see Stewie pushing back in, and that'll prompt the rest of the team to push forward too. Everyone except for Stewie fails on their push, and even Stewie falls after only getting 1 kill. So it's now Swag trying to pull off just a 1v2. Quickly gets the first frag, but he's so low on time, he has to immediately jump on this bomb. Molly back of E-Box. It's not correct, and he's completely out of time now. He can't even jump onto the bomb, and Andrew's going to get the last kill anyway, so compLexity, they make it work, and they're going to tie this up at 11-11.
Yeah, Tarek was aggressive at the E-Box there. I saw Rush put a flash. I think Rush offered him a flash, and it was just a miscommunication. Tarek went to turn away, and right when he turned away, they came out ladder. It was just bad timing by them. They waited for Stu on the retake, and they couldn't get it done.
Well, it's going to be compLexity, again, splitting up their players into that same default. Worked for them before. Finally, anyway, it worked for them before, after 6 rounds straight for Cloud9. But besides that, it's another 3-1-1. with Def taking control over box halls in the ladder room. Peter being the bomb man as well as having the op back instead of T-Con. And then 3 more at Ivy trying to overwhelm that. But the setup from Cloud9 is once again almost perfect to stop this. Skadoodle even killing Peter, so they have to dip 1 away from this 3 Ivy man push now 2 to go and retrieve the bomb or send Def back, which I think is actually what they're going to do. So they're going to not have any pressure in ladder room, which is, I can understand that decision because ladder room's been a pretty rough patch for them for most of this half so far. And now the molly, almost perfectly timed, but Slammy, nicely found, just completely destroys Swag moving out. Rush, despite being outside of the smoke, is not really spotted too well, so Rush is actually going to move in, take down Android, and then get away scot-free. The other 2 trying to push through the back lane here now, but they, again, Rush just getting away with another kill. Ye finally trades onto him, but that's not saying much, as Skadoodle can swing out, take him down with the op, and now it's all down to Def in a 1v2. As he's going to try to sneak up on top of the trains. He can't peek too heavily, though, as that'll happen. Stewie's going to spot him, take off his head, and Cloud9 will take the lead once more.
Yeah, and with compLexity winning that last round, that's going to put them on a reset. But it was like a pistol buy, so they have decent money. I think compLexity just keeps trying to do Ivy pressure. What they need to do is do a 5-6 and E-box smoke, bait out the nades, and just put pressure at Ivy and inner, and then eventually just go Ivy and ladder at the same time. But they just keep pushing Ivy, and Rush is shutting it down with Swag.
Another pretty light buy for compLexity, only getting the 1 deagle on Android and then a couple P250s. 2 players aren't even going to be able to buy up their pistols at all. So everyone from compLexity going back halls, and finally they are trying to go for an inner dive, but it's only on this round where they have very little actual gunpowder to play off of here. Stewie's not really going to challenge it too heavily until they're actually in the site and behind coverage, but he's got to be careful. He's getting swung on right now, and he didn't even realize it until it was too late. He goes down to Ye. That's going to be a rifle into one of the hands of compLexity. Tarek, Rush already trading out the loss of Stewie, though, so making it not too big of a deal. The guys from compLexity got a plant, but that's really the only thing they got right now is Def trying to flank, but he whiffed on his first attempt at a kill, and will now go down to Rush with Cloud9 once again securing the round. They did let their opponents get away with the plant, and they let Stewie go down. However, that's a small consequence now when they're pushing quickly up to 16 rounds.
Yeah, and that plant gives them the extra money to actually get a good buy here for compLexity.
Give them full utility along with everything. No op to be seen, though, so Peter's still not going to be able to work with that. Again, though, remember, Peter was struggling, so he may just not be prioritizing that, as it's mainly Ye, Def, and Android that have been doing most of the heavy lifting here for compLexity. compLexity, I like the increase in speed. They're going to try to go fast out their T-Con here. All 5 players pushing through it. Maybe 1 diving down in through ladder room, actually. But as they move in, Def will get the first initial entry kill. Cloud9 didn't look like they were already set up for this and ready for it, so they're going to have to try and react quickly. Rush swinging into the short lane. He gets 1. Looking for 2, but he ran out of ammo. Didn't realize it. So he's going to go down, and Peter also picking up an additional kill on his Stewie, too. Now leaves just 2 remaining for Cloud9. But it is a 2v3, and they already have Peter low, down at 12 HP. He's going to try to sneak back out, though, and Skadoodle was getting prepped to kill Peter. But regardless, Peter gets the kill anyway. Takes out Skadoodle, leaving only Swag in the picture with a 1v3 set against him. They're not checking into the old bomb lane just yet, but when they do, it's Swag that'll strike against Peter. And now this round has got a whole lot easier for him. They do know where he is. They're going to re-smoke out in this Ivy direction. Swag's not going to care, though. He's going to push out against it anyway, just trying to spot. Knows he has free coverage moving on the outside. Has to check into some of these corners and stuff. Moving on top of the bomb train. He didn't actually see Android, so that's just going to get called to Slemmy, just to be safe. And Slemmy's going to get a pretty quick closeout to kill Swag. And we'll stay within just 1 round's grasp of tying it against Cloud9.
Yeah, nice change of pace by compLexity. I felt like Cloud9 was ready for the hit because they haven't thrown nades that fast, so when they actually throw the nades, it's kind of obvious they're doing a rush, but either way, compLexity comes out on top, and well played by them.
Well, another fast attempt at a play from compLexity. Things have been working for them when they take it fast, and they're going to continue to on that pace. Fast nades to outside 2, so they've already got that control. Cloud9 quickly trying to wrap, and Tarek just trying to stay quiet. They've got 2 guys up at E-Box, but they haven't done anything yet. Both of them are actually going to go down. Both Swag and Tarek. Rush pushed up 2. He's able to get at least 2 trades, but that's it after that one. Now Stewie sneaking up from the backside. He gets 1 and 2, as Cloud9 are able to close out, thankfully due to Stewie coming in and shutting down the last 2 players on the backside.
Yeah, compLexity goes for the fast play again. I like when C9 actually takes battles. Like, I noticed with this new lineup, everyone just takes the aim battle because they're super skilled, so it makes the matches super interesting. Rush is taking fights, Tarek's taking fights, Skadoodle, Swag, Stewie.
after that loss. Now we're going to see if compLexity keep trying to stick with this faster-paced play, or if they're going to have to abandon this now and try to go back to their slower style. And that looks like that is what they're doing, just going back to the slow play. Swag already ready to take on Peter as he's pushed close up here. Peter, he's sitting around that corner right there. However, he's just going to smoke it off and fall back to the server here. He's wanting to very aggressively push into it. You can see the spray coming back out. Elsewhere on the map, Ye's going to be able to get a kill. But Rush trades that out. And now Swag, after some waiting, is finally able to safely fall back there and even toss in what's a really good nade. Max damage on that nade onto Peter. Android, though, catching Rush at the same time. So Swag's now alone over here towards Ivy. And Skadoodle's going to have to try and rotate. And he needs to rotate quick, too, as he only has the Mag 7. So he's not going to be able to do much once they take outside control. He's going to need to get into a position a lot quicker than that if he wants to impact here. So we are going to start to see him moving in through Z. It's a very hesitant amount of control in this site for Cloud9. They do still hold it, only for the time being. Stewie is also trying to focus on Ivy here. Trades out to the AK quickly, gets the first kill, but Def on the repeat kills him with the scout. Now leaves just Stewie alive on this outer bomb site, with 3 still up and running for Cole, mainly in those back lanes. But Stewie's going to be able to hear this player behind the blue train, too. Remember, Stewie has not revealed himself just yet. He's still a mystery here, unless Android checks for him. But as they move in, Peter's going to take down Skadoodle. Now it's Stewie time to strike. He already knows his opponent was sitting back there, so quickly gets the second kill, bringing this down to a 1v1. Peter looking to clutch for the T side, but he can't do it. It's Stewie that pulls off the 1v3 and puts Cloud9 up on a map and match point.
Yeah, that was well played by Stewie. He knew that Android was at the mid. He just had to wait for the next guy. Once the next guy killed Skadoodle, he knew where Peter was, caught Geff at camera, and it was a beautiful 1v3.
Well, look at this buy for compLexity on their, what could be their last round in this tournament. They only have upgraded pistols and utility. Ye gets 1 UMP. That's it. That's all they have. So this might be it right here for compLexity. And this could be Cloud9 shooting forward in a 2-0 fashion. The final score of 16-12. We'll see if compLexity can hold on as they pulled off upsets like this. So have Cloud9 too. Both these teams have had pretty big eco rounds throughout this series so far. Quick smokes into the into the outer bomb site. And I believe they're going to quickly follow up on this too, with 2 players pushing their way down through ladder room onto the outside and the others going through T-Con, trying to work their way back out. They haven't really pushed in for a whole lot of control just yet, and Cloud9 remains unfazed. They have a wall set up to defend this site with now. As they move back in, Swag, he's ready to defend this as more start to push back out. Well, he's not going to see a whole lot just yet. It's actually primarily Rush, but he's caught with an aid in hand, so he's going to go down. Swag next up to bat here. He's going to find 1 for himself. Tarek picking up kills too. Swag potentially with 2 more, but only gets 1. However, Stewie rushes out from the ladder room and closes down. And there you have it, folks. Cloud9 going to be taking control of this series 2-0, and they will push forward into the grand finals of these qualifiers, where they're going to take on either Rise Nation or CLG, pending the result of that game. And so, guys, we are going to take a short break, so do be sure to stick around. And as soon as we're back, we're going to be having the next match for you. That's going to be Rise Nation versus CLG. The winner moves on to play Cloud9. So stick with us, guys. We'll be back with more of the qualifier in just a few.